Hi, I'm Ian Fairfield. I'm a 15-year-old Roman Catholic. I was born and raised in a Catholic family. I attended Catholic high school, and I did attend a Catholic grade school from kindergarten to 8th grade. All through my life, I was not just surrounded by Catholic, which is a great thing because no one wants one perspective on one side of the story. It was often asked of me, do you even understand what you mean when you say God? And up until a couple of years ago, I couldn't truthfully answer that because I really didn't know what I meant when I said God. In these past couple of years, I've diving deeper into my faith, and I now better understand what I mean when I say God, and who is God, and what exactly do I mean when I say it. St. Thomas Aquinas, doctor of the Church, provides these two phrases, en summum ipse esse subsistens. The first one meaning highest being, and the second one meaning the sheer act of to be itself. The first one is a popular, commonly accepted idea that God is this big being off controlling the universe. Rather, the second one is much more accurate when we say God. God is this force. God is this action. He is not a noun that can be categorized or put in a box. God is not this being off controlling everything. Rather, God is the force that drives existence, and we can experience Him every day in our own lives. It's not something we can go out and find and see and touch, but it's something we can experience. It's an ever-acting, ever-existing, ever-present force. An example is provided by the fish in the ocean. It was once asked, can you help us to find God? And it was responded to saying, no. And the man said, how so? And the guy said, for the same reason that no one can help a fish find the ocean. What that means is that fish lives in the ocean, it was born in the ocean, it does everything, its existence is that ocean. But that fish may never understand what the ocean is and cannot actually go and find the ocean. In the same way as how God acts in our lives. It's often misconcepted that the church, or any religion at all, and science cannot coincide. But the Big Bang Theory, the most commonly accepted and one of the most popular theories worldwide, was actually hypothesized by a Catholic priest. And the father of modern genetics, Gregor Mendel, did all of his research while he was in the monastery. The cosmological proof, which is one of the most popular theological proofs, isn't rooted in faith and belief, but rather logic and reason. It was written by St. Thomas Aquinas, and is rooted in this idea of dependent beings and an independent force or being. Say, for example, every human being needs some force to raise it, to nurture it, in order for it to grow up and survive and to thrive in this world. No infant human being can be born and just survive on its own. Now that would go back and back and back in everyone's family tree, and it's got to start somewhere. The same with our universe and our existence, all these different forces are dependent on something else that came before it in order for it to happen, and it goes back and back and back. But order cannot come out of chaos without an outside force acting upon it. Now, what was that outside force, that independent being, that independent force that started everything? That force was God. The watchmaker theory states that you can't put a bunch of pieces of a watch on the ground and come back later and it assembles itself. A watchmaker has to put all those pieces into place in order for it to happen. We talk a lot about experiences when we talk about God, and everyone that has a strong faith had that God moment in some time in their life. For me, it happened shortly after I lost my friend to suicide. It was the Thursday after it happened, and it happened on a Monday, so it was everyone's still very much grieving, very sad, very dark times. I remember the wake, a lot of people came in out of that church, family was there almost the whole day, but there was one man who never left that casket's side. That man was actually her father. Mr. Augusto stood up in front of a community of people also grieving alongside him and gave speech after speech about his daughter, how much light she brought into his life. And I kept thinking to myself, how is this man not breaking down right now? He's talking about his daughter, the person that has been taken from him, the person who he loves so much, so dearly, who's just been taken from him. And he talks so fondly of his faith and how he finds strength in God. His daughter often said God is greater than ups and downs, and he was a true believer of that. And for me, seeing that strength, seeing that love, seeing that community, that safety he found in God, I could see that, I experienced it, I saw it so true. How can something so true and so real and so prevalent be rooted in something that isn't real as well? You may never have that God moment. I pray that you do. I hope that you do. And that's okay. Not everyone can have that God moment. Not everyone accepts that God moment. So maybe open your eyes a little bit and try to see if you can experience that God moment in little things. It's little miracles every day in nature, in friends, family, everything. God bless you.